بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. We will inshallah continue today our Tafseer Surah Al Kahf, and we are at verse number 18. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وتحسبهم أيقاظا وهم رقود ونقلبهم ذات اليمين وذات الشمال وكلبهم باسط ذراعيه بالوصيد لو اطلعت عليهم لوليت منهم فرارا ولملئت منهم رعبا وكذلك بعثناهم ليتساءلوا بينهم قال قائل منهم كم لبثتم قالوا لبثنا يوما أو بعض يوم قالوا ربكم أعلم بما لبثتم فابعثوا أحدكم بورقكم هذه إلى المدينة فلينظر أيها أزكى طعاما فليأتكم برزق منه وليتلطف ولا يشعرن بكم أحدا إنهم إن يظهروا عليكم يرجموكم أو يعيدوكم في ملتهم ولن تفلحوا إذا أبدا وكذلك أعثرنا عليهم ليعلموا أن وعد الله حق وأن الساعة لا ريب فيها إذ يتنازعون بينهم أمرهم فقالوا ابنوا عليهم بنيانا ربهم أعلم بهم قال الذين غلبوا على أمرهم لنتخذن عليهم مسجدا. Go ahead, Umar, read the translation.
And you would think that they were awake while they were asleep. We turned them on their sides, right and left, and their dog had its forelegs stretched out to the doorstep. If you had a look at them, you would have fled away from them and would have been filled with awe of them. In this way, we raised them up until they asked each other. One of them said, "How long did you tarry or sleep?" They said, "A day, or part of a day." They said, "Your Lord knows best how long you tarried. So send one of you with this silver coin of yours to the city, and let him look around which of the eatables are the purest, and let him bring you some food from there. And he must act in a polite manner, and must not let anyone know about you. If they, the inhabitants of the city, will know about you, they will stone you or force you to revert to their faith, and in that case you will never find success. And in this way we made them known to the people of the city, so that they realize that Allah's promise is true, and that there is no doubt about the hour. When they were disputing among themselves in the matter, they said, "Erect a building over them. Their Lord knows them best," said those who prevailed in their matter. We will certainly make a mosque over them.
أحسن جزاك الله خير. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here saying, and you would have thought them awake. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he said, and you would have, speaking to who? Who's you referring to? As I said, some said, An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Yani, Ya Muhammad, if you would have seen them, you would have been terrified by their look. And some said, no, the person who reading the Quran, if he would have seen, so speaking to each and every one of us. And it doesn't matter. I think both opinion is correct. If the Prophet ﷺ would be terrified from them, so everybody else will be terrified as well. That the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam have seen something greater than that, but he still will be terrified from them. What did Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam have seen greater than these dead, alive kind of people? Jibreel. He saw Jibreel alayhi salam in his original shape. 500 wings, each one of them, spread, if you spread it, will basically fill the horizon. In Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ra'a an-nar, he saw the hellfire. A'udhu billah. And that's also a very terrifying scene. So in Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam seen the jinn when he went and he met them and he gave them da'wah in their original form. And that's all terrifying things. But still with all these experience, Allah saying, if you would have seen them, you will be very terrified by their look. They were like dead, asleep completely, but their eyes are completely open, Ibn Abbas said. As if they are awake, but they're not. Are they basically looking at you, but they're not. And al-ulama rahimahumullah said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not close their eyes because if it would have been closed all this time, it will become blind the moment they exposed to light. The moment you bring them after all this darkness all the time, then you expose them, they might affect them. That's why they were open all the time, but still they were completely asleep. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, some ulama said no, they will terrify the Prophet ﷺ, not their eyes open, that the way they move left and right while they're asleep. They are like dead. Actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have put them into that status, which is like dead, but still they move left and right as if they are awake. This will itself bring you, terrify you. قال يخوفك تقليبهم يمينا وشمالا. Al-ulama rahimahullah said, in Quran and Sunnah, we get to know 3 types of sleeping. Okay? There is people when they sleep, their eyes sleep and their hearts sleep. Who are they? All humans. Me and you, that's right. My son Umar, he sleeps while his eyes open. Kind of Ahl al-Kahf style. But but most of the people, they close their eyes when they sleep. Okay, so that's true. So all humans, or most of humans, they sleep while their eyes close and their heart basically close, shut down. As for Ahl al-Kahf, their eyes were open and their heart was shut down. That's right. As for Nabiyyuna Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ما كان ينام قلبه وإنما تنام عينه. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his sleep was different. His eyes go to sleep, but his heart never goes to sleep. Human beings, their eyes and heart go to sleep. Ahl al-Kahf, their heart went to sleep, but not their eyes. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the opposite of Ahl al-Kahf. His eyes go to sleep, shut down, but his heart is not. ولذلك كان نومه أكمل النوم صلى الله عليه وسلم. That's why his sleeping was the perfect way صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. ونقلبهم ذات اليمين وذات الشمال. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that He Himself, we turn them on their right and on their left sides. Listen to what He said. We turn them. يعني فعل نسب إلى الله. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's action. That's why the action that you do while you sleep, you're not responsible for it. لو احتلم الإنسان رأى في المنام أنه سرق وقتل ما يعاقب. If somebody in his sleep saw himself, doing stealing or hitting or killing, he wouldn't be punished for that. That's right. There is a man came to Mas'ud rahimahullah radiyallahu anhu. He said, إن هذا لا بد من إقامة الحد عليه. He said, you have to punish this man. He said, what he did? قال إنه احتلم بأهل بيتي. He in his dream saw that he slept with one of my women, his wife or his mother or something like that. Then he said to him, Ibn Mas'ud, ليس على النائم حرج. He's asleep, there is no harm, يعني. can reach the one who sleep. He said, no, you have to. If you don't, I will do this. Then Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anh said, if you insist, he said, let him stand up in the middle of the day and stone his shade. قال فرج مظلة. Yani since he slept, so that in dream, so you can punish his shade. As like showing to him that doesn't work this way. Anyway, so that's why ulama also said, let's say if you're asleep and you move your hand and you knock something down, you broke something, do you pay for it? Ulama rahimahullah said, no, لا تلزم, لا تضمن, because that's not your actions. إنما هذا فعل الله. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's action, attributed directly to Allah, because whatever you do while asleep, you're not responsible for it. Unless you did not take the precautions. Give you example. A mother who breastfeeding. She falls asleep and she woke up, her son is dead. Her son suffocated and died. What's the ruling? Guilty or not guilty? And if guilty, what is her basically responsibility? No, there is penalty in Islam. That's a killing by mistake. So she has to fast to free a slave, fast 2 consecutive months, and so forth. We don't say guilty, and we don't say not guilty. We see if she take the precautions of, she put the baby in the right position, she is basically aware of that, and she took the necessary step to prevent this from happening, she will not be guilty for it. She doesn't have to pay the penalty. But if she did it while she's careless, she didn't care for it, and the baby died as of negligence, in this case she is basically guilty, and she will have to do a penalty for it. My point is that what you do when you sleep 100% and you're not aware of it, you're not responsible for it. Moving their body left and right, Ibn Abbas said, لِكَيْ يَحْفَظَ أَجْسَادَهُم. So their body, basically moving it, it will make sure that it will not, they don't develop skin diseases. When someone, masallah, salam al-afiyah, may Allah protect us all. If someone basically laying down in bed for a long time, what they do, they move him, those who cannot move. So their body will be kept fresh. Here, some ulama said, if Allah capable of making them sleep all these hundreds of years, why would He move them left and right? Why He doesn't just save their body and that's it? Why would He do that? The ulama said, if the miracle happening, what's the reason for making the body move left and right? قال المفسرون هذا فيه معنى جميل. There is a beautiful meaning here, underlining, which is, al-ulama rahimahullah said, that even miracles need reasons for it to happen. Asbab. So even miracles, in order for it to happen, it happened according to the system that Allah put in the world. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala broke the system by letting you sleep for hundreds of years and not to die. Okay? And then you don't grow old during this time. But He still wants to make sure that you understand that everything has a reason, built on a system in this world. So in order for their body to be protected, He made them go left and right. So that's how they answer it. Other scholars said no. The moving left and right is just showing you a miracle, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them move even though they are like dead, and has nothing to do with protecting their body. Why? They said because Allah said next, وَكَلْبُهُمْ بَاسِطٌ ذِرَاعَيْهِ بِالْوَسِيطِ. They said because Allah said after that, and their dog stretching his hands on the front of the cave. That's right. And the dog was not moving left and right. And the dog did not, basically, his skin dissolve or problem happen to him. So they said, so the moving left and right has nothing to do with protecting their body. It's actually an honoring for them, that Allah Himself take care of them, making them left and right so they will be comfortable. And it's also a way to show the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make them move while they are dead in that state or that they are in. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. The majority of the Mufassirin said the moving it to protect their body, because that's what Ibn Abbas rahimahullah said. Somebody said the dog here referring to Al-Asad. Their dog was not a dog. Actually, it was a lion who was on the cave. That's why everybody comes and see this lion at the cave, get scared and move. That's why nobody dare to enter the cave. And in Arabic language, it's common that they refer to the lion as a dog. All these things called dog in Arabic language, kelb. Okay? But wallahu a'lam, this is not a strong opinion. Can anybody tell me why? وَكَلْبُهُمْ بَاسِطٌ ذِرَاعَيْهِ بِالْوَصِيدِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and basically, and their dog stretching forth his 2 forelegs at the entrance of the cave. How this verse shows that this opinion that dog means lion is not a strong opinion. Yes? They will tell you maybe he came later on and sat after they slept. Aywa, mashallah alayk. Very good. He said their dog. فَنَسَبَهُ إِلَيْهِمْ. So it's like their pet. Somebody was saying pet. So it's like their pet. And nobody take a lion as a pet. Okay? So that's why we say this is not a very strong opinion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. And at the entrance, as-sa'id, it is basically at the entrance, which is a spacious area at the entrance of the cave. And that's basically, al-ulama said, why at the entrance? Why the dog as the entrance? They said because that's the habit, always dog at the front, okay, of the house. That's how it's the habit of the dogs for protection. They are like outside at the entrance of the house. Other ulama said also could be something else. So the angels will not be prevented from entering the cave, because al-malaika don't enter a house where dogs inside the house. So they said is outside at the gate, so the malaika, the angels, will enter the house or to enter the cave. This is somewhat al-ulama rahimahumullah said. And al-ulama rahimahullah, based on this verse, they discussed the issue. Is it allowed to have a dog, to possess a dog, or it's not allowed? Al-Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah and Muslim reported that Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu ardah said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man amsaka kalban فإنه ينقص ينقص كل يوم من عمله قيراط إلا كلب حرث أو ماشية وفي رواية مسلم قيراطان." That the Prophet ﷺ said, anyone possess a dog, every day he or she lose from their deeds as much as qirat. And one narration, Muslim, 2 qirats. Unless this dog is for harth or mashi. You have a farm, and it helps you in farming and looking after your farm, so no animals comes and eat from your vegetables or fruits. Or mashia, you have herds, so he help you in looking after your herds. They said al-qirat in one narration. What's al-qirat? He said like the size of the mountain of Uhud. So al-ulama rahimahullah said, if Islam allowed you to possess a dog or to have a dog to guard your cattle, your sheep, and protect them, so having a dog to protect your family will be allowed. Min babi awla. That's right. Who is more deserving of protection? Your sheep or your family, your children? Your family, absolutely. So the ulama said, rahimahullah, based on this qiyas and this analogy, that's where they got this concept. There is a scholar who used to live in Tunisia, and he lived in a very hard time. He lived under the Ubaydi states, which is an extreme Shia state, took over North Africa and took over what? Egypt. It's called Dawla al-Fatimiyya, the Fatimi states. These Fatimi states used to torture and put in jail and kill the fuqaha al-madahib, the fuqaha of the madhabs. So if you are Shafi'i, Hanafi, Maliki, Hanbali, you are absolutely in danger. You can be tortured to death. And especially, they were so after who? Maliki scholars. They like torture Maliki scholars so much beyond imagination. We have stories in the horror story, and maybe that's even one time will be a very nice lecture to talk specifically about the suffering of the Maliki scholars in North Africa and the persecution that they had to deal with in an unmatched, unbelievable history. And among them, a man by the name Malik al-Saghir, the junior, Malik Jr. Okay? He wrote a book that is considered like the most important work among the Maliki scholars. His name is Abu Zayd al-Qayrawani. So one of the things that these guys did in these states, they made any attack or any one of these fuqaha taking their wealth, their money, harming, harassing his family, it's not something that the government will care for. They will not provide any protection for the ulama. So any thief can go steal from them, harassing them. So Abu Zayd al-Qayrawani rahimahullah have purchased or got a huge dog, big huge dog, and he put it in front of his house, or he put it in his house. So the student said to him, Ya Abu Zayd, you taught us that Malik kana yakrahu ittikhad al-kalb. Malik said you should not have a dog. فقال رحم الله مالك لو كان في زماننا ومكاننا لاتخذ كلب لم يتخذ كلبا بل اتخذ أسدا. He said, he was asked by students, you told us that Malik said he does like having a dog or possessing a dog. It's like a wild animal, why would you keep it in the house? Then he said, may Allah forgive Malik. If Malik living today, he would not only allowed us to have a dog, he would allow us to have a lion. To have a lion at the house, to protect us from all the things that we see. Anyway, also the same thing, dogs are allowed to be taken for security reasons, like work with, like canine, for example, police work, in custom and things of that nature. Also, seeing dog. Okay, somebody blind, use this to help them, or handicap, help them. That's absolutely allowed. Also, one more thing about having dogs. It is having dogs is said for, we said for hunting as well. Somebody have a dog for hunting. That will be allowed. I want you to be aware of something. Any one of these kinds of dogs, for hunting, for the herds, for protecting the house, seeing dogs, for canine, anything like this. Al-ulama rahimahumullah agree on something. That in this case, the dog's saliva, the dog touching it, it will not be impure. Even though they believe it's impure in other cases, like just a random dog, to have the saliva, it's impure. But the blind person who using it, he's accepted from the rules. The farmer who using it, accepted. The one who have it in the house because protection, accepted. Or in your work, exceptions. Why exceptions? They said because this is something became very difficult to deal with. Dogs always what? Lick things and touch things. That I'm talking about the ulama, those who believe that the saliva of the dog is najis. Otherwise, there is other ulama believe that the saliva of the dog is not najis at all. And I personally go with that opinion, that I don't believe that the dogs, their saliva is najis. And the proof for that, you'll be surprised, the same proof that they used to say it's najis. They said it's najis because in Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, najis it means impure. They said because in Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا ولغ الكلب في إناء أحدكم فليغسله 7 مرات إحداهن بالتراب أو ثامنهن بالتراب. So when the dog eats from utensils, you need to wash it 7 times, one of them with sand. This hadith shows that actually it's not najis. Because if it is najis, 3 times will be enough, or even 1 time will be enough to removing the najasa. So that means the 7 times, one of them with sand, is not because of najasa. It is because illah ta'abbudiyya. It is because some other reasons that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't tell us about it. Otherwise, there is a consensus from the scholars, even though who believe it is haram to touch the saliva, or it's najis, the saliva of the dog, they said the urine of the dog, enough to remove the najasa of it by washing it 1 time or 3 times. And there is no doubt that the urine of the dog is more najis than the saliva of the dog. So that means the saliva with 7 times or 8 times, one of them with sand, it's not because of the concept of najasa. It is for something else. That's number 1. Number 2, just also for the record, the scholar who said that, they said about the saliva in the utensils. They're not talking about saliva on the pants. Nobody said 7 times, one of them with sand. Nobody said that. But I'm just giving you. The other proof that they said it shows you that the saliva of the dog is not najis. Marah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, that النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم time, during the Prophet ﷺ time, كانت الكلاب تذهب وتجيء في مسجد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Ibn Abbas said, while we pray, many times you will see dogs and donkeys pass between the lines. And we all know dogs, when they walk, what they do? They sniff and they look to the ground. We never heard the Prophet ﷺ said, make sure that you clean it, you put water. That's right? Never heard that. Also, the famous hadith al-Hasan radiallahu anh, when the Prophet ﷺ did not enter the house and they said, Ya Rasulullah, why didn't you enter? He said, because there is a dog inside it, so the angel will not enter, and I will not enter the house. So what happened? Al-Hasan had a puppy, Jarru, and he tied it to what? To the Prophet ﷺ's bed, the pillar of the Prophet ﷺ's bed. So they took the puppy out the house and the Prophet entered. We never heard that the Prophet ﷺ told him, hey, make sure you wash the place where he was tied. What's the puppy will do? Tied to the bed. He will be licking the bed. He will be licking the floor, the ground. That's right. We never heard that the Prophet ﷺ ordered them to clean it or to do anything of that nature. So that shows you that this was not something recognized as najis. Anyway, there is also in the concept of hunting. When the dog hunt, we never been ordered to clean whatever they touch. And that's what Shaykh al-Islam rahimahullah and other ulama arrived to. But anyway, it's an issue of debate. I just want to share with you the debate between the scholars about this issue. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. He said if you see him, you will run away. Because the strange look that's in their faces. Okay? And al-ulama rahimahullah said something interesting here. They said, how the dog of the people of the cave became honored by Allah mentioning the dog and mentioning him in this story just because he was in the company of good people. يعني الكلب نال بشرف الصحبة أن يذكر في القرآن ويخلد. This dog, because he's surrounded, be with the good people, get the honor to be remembered until the day of judgment. And the Nabi ﷺ said, أنت مع من أحببت. A dog loved them, that's why he was with them. He got the honor, all the miracle that happened to them happened to him too. Otherwise Allah could have put them to sleep and forget about the dog. That's right. What's the point from keeping the dog? Actually, some ulama said the dog died. But that's not what the majority said, because what seems from the verses that everybody came back to life. He got the same miracle, and miracles are a form of honoring. That's why, my brother and sister, it is so good to be in the company of good people, because what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honor you by them. And in Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us a very famous hadith, a very beautiful hadith, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, that Allah has angels who travel the world. And never do they see a gathering, inshallah, like us, who gather to dhikrullah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to remember Allah, the angels are surrounding them until they go all the way to the heavens. Then Allah said, what have gathered you? They said, we have found a group of your servants gathered to remember you. Then Allah asked the angels, and He knows the answer, what they are gathering for. They said they're asking you to enter Jannah, to let them go to Jannah and protect them from hellfire. Then Allah said, and you are my witness that I give them and I grant them what they're asking, and I'll protect them from what they're asking protection from. Oh Allah, we ask you to grant us Jannah and to protect us from hellfire. Okay? Then the angel said, Ya Rabb, but with them so and so, who came to this gathering, not for that purpose, for something else. Maybe, you know what, I embarrassed him and I drag him into here. You know, he doesn't have the intention for that. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, beautiful statement. He said, Humul qawm la yashqa bihim jalis. They're a group of people, anyone in their company will never be a loser. Will be always a winner. So always surround yourself with all-stars, winners. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكَذَلِكَ بَعَثْنَاهُمْ لِيَ فَضَّلْ. Very good. He said, what will be the benefit, or what will be the point? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when you see them, you will run away and you will be filled with fear, terrified. Okay? The doctor is saying, usually you get terrified first, then what? You run away. Question. After you get terrified and run away, what happened to you? You calm down, but that's not the case here. Actually, when you run away, you still have absolute fear in your heart from what you have seen. Yani even when you run away from them, that scene will fill your heart with fear. Would be terrified even after you run away from there. So it is logically obvious that he will be scared the moment he sees them. So after he runs away, you think, khalas, he will come down. No, because it's so bad, it's so terrifying, that even after running away, he will be filled with fear. Do you mean? Yeah. Very good. Is that clear? Very good observation, actually. Okay. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said here, likewise, we waking them for their long deep sleep, that they might question one another. وَكَذَلِكَ بَعَثْنَاهُمْ. And look at the word بَعَثْنَاهُمْ, resurrect them. To make that connection between the concept of resurrection in the Day of Judgment and the story of the people of the cave. Because the whole point is to remind the people that one day Allah will resurrect them. Because the kuffar, the disbelievers in Mecca, did not believe in resurrection, because they said, how come after we die all these years Allah bring us back? So Allah gave them an example of this, very easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it happen. He said, and also the Jews who suggest this story to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be asked about it, Jews, they don't believe in resurrection. So Allah also reminding them of the concept of resurrection, that it is going to happen. قال وكذلك بعثناهم. As we put them to sleep, we resurrect them. As we put them to death, we brought them back to life. as we protected their body, we resurrected them. So it's not as hard as all the previous ones. How can you protect a body from being dissolved or affected badly, or medically things bad happen to him for all these hundreds of years? He was able to do that. So he was able also to resurrect them. He protected them from their fam, from their people. That's why he's also capable of resurrecting them. Okay? Then here he said, لِيَتَسَاءَلُوا. لِيَتَسَاءَلُوا. How he translated here. So they might question one another. اللام, you might heard me before saying, اللام المكسورة في القرآن هي لام التعليل. Usually the lam, when there is kasrah underneath of it, it is the lam, it's التعليل, the lam which is give you the reasoning, why. But here it's not why. يسمونها لام الصيرورة. It means he did this so that things will happen. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَالْتَقَطَهُ آلُ فِرْعَوْنَ لِيَكُونَ لَهُمْ عَدُوًّا وَحَزَنًا لِيَكُونَ. They pick the boy Musa from the sea so he would end up their enemy. So he resurrected them. Not he resurrected them because he wanted them to question each other. No, he resurrected them, and when he resurrected them, they're going to end up disputing among themselves and asking themselves, how long we been, sleeping. And that's the majority of the Mufassirin, not like Al-Razi who thought it is the reasoning behind resurrecting them is that purpose. طيب. Or Razi said it's al-ghaya, it is basically the reason behind it. قالوا لبثنا يوما أو بعض يوم. They said, we slept a day or half a day. What that means, a day or half a day. A day or half a day means they woke up what? In the end of the day. At night time. Because half a day. Because if they woke up early at Fajr, it wouldn't say we slept half a day. That's right. Well, does it make sense? That's right. Clear? Okay, good. So he said, also it shows you that maybe they went to bed, also went to sleep early in the day. Like when they went to sleep, it was early in the day. That's why they said it's either a whole day or half a day. Ibn al-Jawzi rahimahullah did. Then after they argue among each other, they said, Allah knows how long you've been asleep. And this is a very good lesson for us. When we start to argue of something that we have no complete knowledge of it, there is no need for it to drag. Just you say, Allah knows the best, and move on. Okay? Also, this verse, Al-Ulama rahimahullah said, it's a proof that you make rules based on your best judgment and ijtihad. So their ijtihad, even though they agree that Allah knows how long exactly they slept, but their ijtihad, their thought, their best judgment, it's a day or half a day. So you can make a statement based on your best judgment. You try your best. That's why even in Sharia, the rules of Sharia is not based on absolute. I make sure that this is something very important to understand. And I found it very hard to be understood in Western world, dealing with a lot of young men and women here in the Western world. They have this notion and idea that the rules, it has to be based on absolute, white and black, and clear 100%. Actually, the vast majority of the Sharia rules are not based on that. It's based on ijtihad, their best judgment. That's why Allah will take from you your best judgment. Even if your best judgment, even if your best call is not correct in itself. Yani, you try your best and you arrive to this conclusion, you're free. It doesn't matter your conclusion, the haqq or no. That's why when Shaykh al-Islam rahimahullah talked about concept, pay attention to this. هل الحق يتعدد؟ هل كل مجتهد مصيب؟ Is it true that every mujtahid is correct? Like I did my best judgment. give my opinion, he give his opinion. Is it means we are all correct? Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said, no, you cannot say yes or no. قال شيخ الإسلام في المسألة تفصيل. You cannot say everybody is correct, and you cannot say no, not everybody is correct. He said depends. قال إذا أردت أن كل مجتهد مصيب من جهة فعل الاجتهاد فهذا حق. If you meant everyone made ijtihad is correct, that you means if I do my best, I look at the evidence, I look at the principles, I look at what I have in my hand, and I make the judgment, that's correct. I'm correct, he's correct, even if we arrive to a different conclusion. لكن إذا قصد أن كل مجتهد مصيب أن الحق يتعدد فهذا باطل. فماذا وراء الحق ما بعد الحق إلا الضلال. But if you want to say that the conclusion, even if they contradict each other's, are all correct, that's absolutely not allowed. That's not correct. Yani, I give you an example. The Shafi'iyya said, like this dog thing, the saliva of the dog. The saliva of the dog, according to the Hanbali, to the Hanafi, to the Shafi'i specifically, it is najis and it is not allowed to have it on you when you pray. That's right. You have Malikis and some Hanbali said, no, it's not najis. And if we pray while you have it on, your salah is correct. Isn't these two contradicting statements? That's right. This is ijtihad and this is ijtihad. Yes, they are both correct because they did their best. So in front of Allah, they are what? Excused. But Allah's ruling in regard to the saliva of the dog, it's either not impure or it is pure. It's one of the two. It cannot be the two. It cannot be Allah made the saliva pure and impure in the same time. No, it's one of them. But for us, we only been asked to do our best. And that's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy. And understanding this will make life less complicated. Will make our dealing with the religion in a very relaxed way. Not very tense way. Then he said, قالوا ربكم أعلم بما لبثتم. They refer the knowledge to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah said in Surah Al-Nisa, وَلَوْ رَدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُمْ. Today I wish that we can learn these lessons as a Muslim community, especially activists, that we should not give fatwa in every field. And sometimes I feel just because you're an activist, or sometimes because you're a sheikh, you speak about areas as an expert, and you talk about it as fact. Like today I had a discussion with Ammar. He didn't like what I was saying, most of what I said today, about American history and stuff on politics and stuff like that. But when I speak about this, in my heart, I speak about it and I know that I'm not an expert. I'm just saying my opinion. And he's saying his opinion. And in certain areas, we should learn to step back and say, you know what? No. Like, give you example, and I don't want to make it very political tonight, but like all this question that people raised about the shooting in California. All of a sudden, every Muslim, because became expert in law enforcement. Work on what's the procedure it is done when you book somebody or you kill someone and everybody, hey, why is this has happened? This is trespassing, this is this. And everybody became all of a sudden an expert in the law. An expert how the police handle cases. And everybody say, oh, there is a violation here, violation there. How do you know that? Watching too many movies and soap operas doesn't make you expert. Maybe give you an idea, but it doesn't make you expert. And guess what? It's not that you raise a concern. Like one brother, Jazakallah khair, raised a concern. And I said, that's a legit concern. But what happened, when you raise this, then you make a rule based on it. And you make a judgment based on it. And you make a position and a stance based on it. That's where the dangers comes. And a lot of people make a political stance. You know, and what's your background in politics to make you capable of doing that? You know, someone said, write a policy for, or suggest a policy for the president, a policy for the congressman. Yeah, that's nice, but what kind of background that you have, what kind of expertise that you have used to write this policy? Lawyers and teams. Our Islamic work need to be developed a lot to bring all this expertise. Otherwise, just say, قُلْ رَبِّكُمْ, يعني Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. But don't act like an expert. And also, I love about this, how they end the argument. They end the argument by saying, you know what, just there's no need for argument. Just take the money and go get the food. End of it. We should not waste our time arguing over things that will not benefit us. What it makes a difference? They slept a day or half a day or 2 days. Doesn't make a difference to them. What the reality is, they are hungry. That's what they need. Okay? بِوَرِقِكُمْ. Okay? In another qira'ah, بِوَرْقِكُمْ. Okay? It's basically the silver. Also, that shows you something. That these people well prepared. They took money with them when they left their people. And also, it could give you an example of something. That when they left their people, they left quickly. Early in the day, they didn't even eat. They are so hungry. They didn't purchase food yet. Because they were rushed to be out. Then they said, let him look for أزكى طعاما. Ya salam. أزكى not أزكى ليست هنا فعل تفضيل. ليست للتفضيل المطلق وإنما لمطلق التفضيل. How can we translate that? يلا, our experts in translations. إنها ليست للتفضيل. It doesn't mean go look for the absolute best food in town. No, it means go look for what is considered good food. What's considered best of the food. Okay? Does that make sense? Like when I go get me the best, what's the best restaurant? I don't mean necessarily it is comparing by every single restaurant, it is higher than everybody. It means one of the best, one of the good restaurants. Don't give me like, you know, that $2 restaurant type of food. No. طيب. It means يعني a good food, excellent food. And what that means, أزكى طعاما. What do you... the good lawful food. أزكى, the best of the food. Al-ulama said, أزكى, it means a lawful because it's slaughtered in halal way. Why? Because most of their people were kuffar, disbeliever. They sacrifice and kill the animal for their gods, then they eat their meat. So that's why they're looking for a meat which is slaughtered for Allah, not for the idols. That's what Ibn Abbas said. Mujahid and Sa'id ibn Jubair said, no, because most of the food, that it is haram. People steal food and sell it in the market. So look for a source of the food, which source of it is halal. No, said azka, it means get us a lot of food. Some said, which is Qatada, said the best of quality. Okay? Some said the most delicious, like Ibn Sa'ib. Go get us the most delicious food. They want to treat themselves properly. Yaman ibn Rayab mentioned a meaning that I couldn't understand. Linguistically, the base for it 100%. It doesn't fit with the rest of the understanding. He said, أزكى طعاما يعني أرخص طعاما. The cheapest. Okay? And I don't see any disagreement between all of the first ones except the last one. So the best of food, it's halal, slaughtered for Allah, and it's halal in its source. And also it is a lot. And also it is delicious, good quality. Okay? And maybe they meant with all this cheap. That'll be a good deal. Okay, we can get all this at once. Okay. Here it shows you that these young men care for the halal, to consume the halal. And this is a good quality, that you just don't eat whatever, okay, appear in front of you. Oh, that day I was with a guy who went to eat a dessert, and he doesn't care the dessert. Can he ask? Maybe the dessert has alcohol. Maybe this is, fried with beer. You know how they put the beer bird, and maybe, or lard, or things of that nature. You look for something that it is halal. Are they looking for the halal? No. They're looking for the best of the halal. أزكى طعاما. Just halal is one level. أزكى طعاما, it's another level. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يا أيها الرسل كلوا من الحلال. لا. كلوا من الطيبات. The good, the excellence of food. واعملوا صالحا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم. From the best of what we provide for you. And ulama rahimahullah said, this verse shows you there is no harm to treat yourself well and to eat from the best food, not the cheapest food. Okay, so not every, like today, me and the doctor, we went to the best food, alhamdulillah. We ate in like good salad. We didn't go to cheap burgers like some people, next door, just to fill the stomach with one burger. No, so you go to the best of food. Then he asked them to go in a gentle way. وَلْيَتَلَطَّفْ. Why? Because if they catch them, they will stone them to death. And they will force them to go back to the kufr. And they were afraid of that. أَوْ يُعِيدُوكُمْ فِي مِلَّتِهِمْ. They force you to go back to, how you translate that? Let me see. For it, if they came to know you, they will stone you to death or turn you back to their religion. Their religion, referring to who? Their people, because in the Quran, it could mean their religion or turn you back to your religion, to your old religion. Yani as if these boys were kuffar, became believer, and now they're afraid to be forced to go back to the original religion that they had. Okay? That's one way to understand the verse. Another way to understand the verse, they force you to go back to their religion. They did not refer them to them at all. And you know what? It could be they never were kuffar. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, said, لَنُخْرِجَنَّكَ يَا شُعَيْبُ مِنْ لنخرجنك يا شعيب والذين آمنوا معك من قريتنا أو لتعودن في ملتنا, or you will come back to our religion. So our religion, it means Prophet Shu'aib was kafir before? No prophet was ever kafir before. So that means that's the religion that the people are worshipping. Okay? وقال الذين كفروا لرسلهم لنخرجنكم من أرضنا أو لتعودن في ملتنا فأوحى إليهم ربهم لنهلكن الظالمين. So here, what it seems to be that this young boy never were kuffar, and Ibn Kathir rahimahullah have supported that. Question. Now he said, and if you do, you will never achieve success. Guys, I know it's almost 5 minutes left. Muhammad and Dr. Ishfaq, both of you, let's see. How come if their people forced them to go back to kufr or to do the kufr, they said we'd never achieve success? Aren't they excused because they were forced into kufr? They were threatened by death. But here they said, we will never achieve success. لن تفلحوا إذا أبدا. Al-ulama rahimahullah said that from Allah's mercy, the only nation that Allah give them the excuse to say or to do what is kufr is Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and they will not be held accountable for it as long as their heart full of iman. Nations before us, you will be killed, but you cannot say the kufr. You cannot do the kufr. You remember the story of the woman who have children, who they took her children one after another and put them in the oil, that boiling oil, and they basically die in front of her? Why didn't she save herself and her children? Even when she thought about it, her child told her, don't be afraid, jump into the fire. Okay? The story of the boy of قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ, and many stories like this from the people before us. There is no exceptions. There is no excuse. There is no chance for someone to say and to do the kufr, even if he will be threatened by death, even he will be killed, even if he or she be tortured, they still have to stay in iman. But in this ummah, out of Allah's mercy, He allowed them to say and to do what is kufr as long as their heart filled with iman. That's why they said that, these young boys. واضح? Clear? Okay. Then they said, لن تفلحوا إذا أبدا. He said, go and ask and look for, use the silver to look for what? For food. And be gentle. Gentleness is one of the keys of a successful da'wah. One of the keys of a successful movement. One of the keys of success in life. The Prophet ﷺ said, Ya Aisha, ma wudi'a al-rifqu fi shay'in illa zana, wa ma nuzi'a min shay'in illa shana. Ya Aisha, gentleness, when you use it and apply it to anything, it will be good. If you take it away from anything, it will be bad. You know, being gentle is amazing. You know, this farmer has a calf, a stubborn calf. You know, يعني راسه راس بقرة عرفته. It's like a cow. He tried to push the calf, pull it, hit the calf. The calf doesn't want to go inside the barn. The wife was watching him, how he's so aggressive and pushing it, and the calf not moving. Even though a baby, but it's hard to move that big thing. You know, it's not, cannot carry it. So the wife walked into the calf. She basically pat the calf, and she put her finger in the calf's mouth. So the calf starts sucking the finger. Then she pulled the calf all the way inside the barn. Gentleness. Have you ever tried to open the door when you are nervous and fast and you know like aggressive? Doesn't open. And you damn the door, you damn the handle, and you know curse out the bill. And it's not a. While someone said, hey, hold on, look. Man, if anything you take the gentleness out of it, it will be bad. So this is very important concept today. What is gentleness today in da'wah? Where we demonstrate this with each other. Demonstrate this with people who disagree with us. Being gentle. Being just a gentle man. Being a gentle woman. You know, sometimes when you become harsh and aggressive and mean and tough and rough, you turn people away. وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. If you're aggressive and mean, people will run away from you. That's Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today I'm very worried that sometimes what we see today from the action of this extremist group, that they turn people away from Islam because they don't know what's the concept of gentleness is. And by the way, turning people away from Islam, it's a major sin. ولا تتخذوا أيمانكم دخلا بينكم فتزل قدم بعد ثبوتها وتذوقوا السوء بما صددتم عن سبيل الله ولكم عذاب عظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and you would taste evil in this world for what people you diverted from the way of Allah, and you would have in the hereafter a great punishment. Why? Because they diverted people from the way of Allah. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not touch the hypocrites. Why? So people will not say Muhammad killing his friends, and it will be a reason for people to leave Islam. Gentleness, it is something that it needs to be done in every aspect in life. Gentle in the way you deal with ilm, knowledge, seeking knowledge. Gentle when you go into the area of da'wah, dealing with people. Gentle with the people who disagree with you. Gentleness, it will make you capable of controlling, have a good self-control, so you know what battle to choose and what battle to avoid. Is it at-talattuf also one of the meaning of it? At-talattuf, it means to be discreet. One of the meaning of talattuf is be discreet. Yani, you don't need everything to make announcement about it. And I don't mean by that discreet to be secretive. No, we don't have secret in our religion. But discreet is a planning. You don't talk too much, but you act so much. Okay? I disagree with some of the common thing. I don't know how much you guys read or how much in English even available, books and seerah. Ammar, when you read in the seerah and Kabir or Umar, when you guys read in the books of seerah, do you ever come across this concept of الدعوة السرية, the secret da'wah in Mecca, secret da'wah in Mecca, the da'wah in Mecca was secret? Have you come across that? When I grow up, a lot of books talk about secrets in da'wah, and they use this. And I completely disagree with the whole concept, the secrecy of da'wah in Mecca. Actually, I don't have any proof that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was ever his da'wah in Mecca a secret. Otherwise, how come all the people of Mecca knows about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and knows about his da'wah, and knows who's the believer are, and they basically prosecuted them? How can you say secret? And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam never had a secret in his life, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was giving da'wah in Mecca, and people know. Didn't he used to go pray in public, gather the believers? But what if you mean by secret is like hidden and nobody about it? No. As a matter of fact, Hudayfa, in Mecca, you have 700 Muslim already. 600 to 700 Muslim. So saying secret, no. But maybe secret, when they meet in Dar al-Arqam, they didn't put like a banner, hey, we are gathering here. Maybe if that's what it is, that's fine. طيب. Also, one of the meaning of yatalattaf means, one of the meaning in Arabic language, have wisdom. So you know when and where and what. Also, being yatalattaf, being nice. Like I should be nice to you now and call this off. Some people saying, stop. But let me finish the word yatalattaf because it's very beautiful. So the one, being gentle. Number two, being discreet. You don't need everything to be like making a huge announcement about it and making big noise over it, over talk. But while you should act more. Also yatalattaf, it means have wisdom. واحدة من أجمل معاني التلطف يعني الرفق, being patient with people, especially those who reject your da'wah. Being patient with your followers, with the people who loves you. And this is a great lesson for the murabbin, for the people who give other tarbiyah, the leader, the mentors. Being gentle and patient and wise when it comes to solving the problems. You know, Darda and Abu Darda had a very beautiful manhaj, rule. Abu Darda tell her, I will do a lot of things that it will make you angry. And you will make a lot of things will make me angry. But let's agree on this, Ya Darda. Anytime I make you angry, I make you angry. Okay? If I make you angry, I will make sure that I will try to make it up for you or to please you later. When I'm angry, you try to please me and so forth. Otherwise, if we don't do that to each other, we will leave each other quickly. That's why Baqiyah ibn al-Walid, when he had something with Ibrahim ibn al-Adham, and they talked to each other openly about it in a nice way, Baqiyah said, Ibrahim ibn al-Adham said to Baqiyah, he said, if the brothers and friends don't talk openly, nicely about the thing that they have against each other, they would never remain brothers. And look at this beautiful scene that they ask one of them to go with the money and in a gentle way, nice way to go to get the food. If you notice, one of them, the verse didn't say the leader, one of them. And that's how the jama'ah, that's how the community, that's how the group, that any one of them can ask and the rest will respond. You don't need to be the biggest, the oldest, have the highest title. It's a random. One of them said, do this, and everybody, and one said, okay, I'll do it. And that's how what you call cooperation. Also, one of the benefit of this story, this particular scene in the story, that how they utilize the resources very well. One person went to get the food, and the rest start taking care and preparing themselves for it. Not all of them went for the food. Sometimes the community, what they does, they put all the resources in one area. We can't distribute the job. One do this job, one do another thing. You know, our human resources has to be managed properly. Also, this shows you that you should have tawakkul on Allah, but also take the precautions. That's why I said be gentle, be discreet, be wise. So you have trust in Allah, but you take the necessarily means. Al-Quran did not tell us what happened when he went, what he did, okay? It didn't tell us about anything about that. But the Mufassirin told us that when basically he went and he showed them the money, they said, this is not this money, that this is a currency we don't use anymore. Then they said, no, it is a currency that I have. Anyways, start like back and forth. Then finally they know that he belonged to a completely different time, way very old. And it became a scene. So the ruler came and he found out that he is a new ruler who's a believer from a Christian believer. So that's basically when they had that been discovered. Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi once brought to the reciter of the Quran. Then he asked him, أخبروني عن القرآن كم حرف هو? How many letters in the Quran? So the Qurra, this reciter said, it is 347,000 letters and 740. So 340,740. Then he said, can you look what is in the middle? How many words in it? Sorry, not letter. How many words? Then he said, what's the words that comes in exactly in the middle of the Quran? Yeah, the word that between all these 340,740 words. He said, they counted and they found it, وَلْيَتَلَطَّفْ, being gentle. That's the central of the Quran. That's the central world of the Quran. If there's anything that to reflect upon these beautiful meaning, because one of the meaning of at-talattuf is being moderate, being in the middle. One of the meaning linguistically, at-talattuf yani to be in the middle, and that's literally comes in the middle of the Quran. And I think that's a great lesson that we can go tonight with reflecting upon that concept of talattuf, of being gentle, being patient, being wise, being discreet. You don't talk more than when you do act. Being moderate. All these meanings is part of the meaning of وَلْيَتَلَطَّفْ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us all these great quality and more. And inshallah we continue the rest at the end of the surah, the end of the story inshallah next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.